If you hear wind and rain, or maybe something slamming against my window, no, you did not. I'm currently recording this as a hurricane is coming to Florida. It's hitting the west coast of Florida. I'm on the east coast, but we're still getting like some outer bands and some bad weather from it. So just ignore any sounds that may be concerning to you. We were getting a whole bunch of tornadoes last night, so that was lovely because pretty much my entire life, I've been terrified of tornadoes. But I always thought to myself, it's fine, we're in Florida. The odds of us getting tornadoes are like slim to none. And then as I get older, I learned that tornadoes can still happen in Florida, and I was like, but it's fine, like, the odds of a tornado actually happening. Tell me why there were, like, 5 tornadoes last night. Thankfully, none of them were near me. They were near my parents, but none of them were near me. I did have a little scare last night, though, because a tornado touched down really close to my parents, and I decided, let me text them, make sure that they're okay. They're the type of people that normally answer their texts, like, immediately. So I text them. No response. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let me call my mom. She's always on her phone. Call my mom. Rings all the way to voicemail. No answer. I start freaking out because, mind you, before I got news of there being actual tornadoes, I had been listening to tornado warnings going off on my TV every 10 minutes. So my anxiety was pretty high at this point, right? I hate tornadoes, and every 10 minutes you just have the TVs turn on to be like, wee woo, tornado warning, take cover now, tornado warning, take cover now. Like, that is terrifying to go off every 10 minutes. So my mom didn't answer her phone. My anxiety's already through the roof. So what does your girl do? She starts bawling. What else is there to do? So I start crying, start having a mental breakdown, and I call my dad. It rings like 3 times, and I, at this point, am having like a full-blown panic attack. He picks up, and he's like, what's up? And I hate letting people know that I'm crying on the phone, so I like choke back my tears real quick, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Are you guys okay? And my dad's like, yeah, we're actually bowling right now. Why? What's up? I was like, oh, great. Of course you'd be bowling right now. And I let them know, I was like, are you aware that there are tornadoes going around you right now? And at this point, my mom took over the phone because I guess they could tell I'm hysterical. And my mom's like, oh, yeah, we know that there are tornadoes, but it was league night, so we had to go. And I was like, okay, just, like, stay safe. Let me know if the house is still standing. So a few hours later, I get a text from them saying, yeah, the house is still standing, the house is fine, but on our drive home, we saw a whole bunch of cars flipped upside down. So that was great. Apparently, I guess the best way to kind of draw the visual for this, so my parents' house was like on the left side, right? So I think my parents' house we're in a box, right? A little square. My parents' house is on the left side of the square. On the right side of the square is the bowling alley. Right down the middle, going at a diagonal from the bottom right corner to the top left corner, is the path of the tornado. So this is all within literally like a street, okay? A street. My parents' house, tornado going up in the diagonal angle, and then the bowling alley. So I love that for them. Thankfully, they were completely fine, and the tornado went away by the time they were driving home because they had to take the tornado's path backwards to get home. So that's where they saw the damage and everything. But yeah, so that was lovely to learn because, like I said, my entire life I've been terrified of tornadoes, but I've always thought, what are the odds that a tornado is gonna like come near my house? Feet away, not even a mile away from my house. So I love that for them. Thankfully, they're safe. Thankfully, everything is okay. But man, that was lovely to learn about last night. I was also expecting my job to be kind of closed down today because, there's a hurricane and all that. But where I'm at, we're not really getting affected as badly. All the schools near me have been shut down for the rest of the week just because they didn't really know what the pathing was going to look like for the storm. I feel like we may get a little bit more affected by it as tonight goes on and tomorrow, since it is going to kind of sit over Tampa and just mess up shit over there. We may get some outer bans, but only time will tell. So it's been a minute since I talked to y'all, and I apologize for my absence. Time has been flying by, and I feel like I just recorded an episode literally maybe 2 weeks ago. I know that that is not the case because what was our last episode? Let It Die? I think that one is already over a month old, so kind of hate that for me. I feel like I just recorded the Online Friends episode, but somebody informed me like yesterday that that episode is already 3 months old, so that is crazy to me because I literally remember promoting it at the gym right after it went live. So, hey, how have things been? To be honest, I mean, I know that there are a few of you that listen pretty regularly to the podcast, but I didn't know that you would be like waiting in anticipation for the next episode. So I apologize for keeping you on your toes. And those of you that have reached out to me, I am very, appreciative that you are as interested in the podcast as you are, because I think that that's pretty cool that people are going out of their way to be like, hey, please post another episode. I want to hear you brain dump. So I don't know what y'all doing when I'm talking to you. I don't know what you're doing right now. Maybe you're on the toilet. Maybe you're folding some laundry. Maybe you're driving. Where are we going? Where are you taking me? Are we going on a little vacation? Because I sure as hell need one. But it's cool to know that people like actually want another episode and look forward to the next episode. So I apologize for taking so long to record this one, but it's still pretty cool. I was looking at the analytics yesterday. I don't know. I tweeted, but I was looking at the analytics because it had been a while since I checked it. I used to religiously check the analytics right after I posted an episode, a few days after I posted the episode, just to kind of see, where the spots on the map light up. I talk about that a lot in the episodes because I can see little, estimates of where y'all are, the listeners. So I just checked that and I noticed that a few more spots popped up and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like looking at the other numbers and everything. And I was like, okay. But I was more concerned with where the map is lighting up. That is new. And I am so excited to announce this. May be like small to everybody else, but to me, this is incredible. We have listeners in over 9 different countries. 9. I remember like the first few episodes, I don't remember which one it was. Maybe it was the third one. I said that we had a listener in Egypt. That was cool to me. We have listeners in Sweden, Netherlands, Belgium, Australia, the Philippines. Like, that is so cool to me that like the podcast is reaching people across the globe like that. And that you find the episode interesting enough to listen to it long enough to become an analytic. Like, I don't know, that's so cool to me. The rain is picking up, so I apologize once again if you hear any weird noises or anything, or if this podcast cuts out at some point because your girl could lose power. That is totally a possibility. But I don't know, I'm so grateful to every single one of you that take the time to listen to the podcast and reach out to me and bug me for the next episode, because that's the kind of motivation that I need, Hey, have you had a chance to check out our new merch site? You haven't? Well, what are you doing? Go check it out. Go to BlindedBySilence.com right now, because since you're a podcast listener, you're going to get 10% off your entire order. Use code PODCAST at checkout. That's PODCAST to save 10%. I think today we're going to talk about addiction. And did I do any research going to this? Absolutely fucking not. But I do have a bachelor's degree in psychology, so that does not make me credible whatsoever. And I know of one person that has their master's, PhD. I don't know what you have. You know who you are. But you may chuckle at some segments of this episode because I may not be 100% knowledgeable of what I'm talking about. And that's okay. That's what this podcast is about. I talk out of my ass. So there's that little disclaimer, I guess. But I kind of want to talk about addiction today in terms of video games, because I have been so addicted to Apex. It is not even funny. Like, I don't think I've ever had a genuine addiction to a game. Well, that's a lie. I've had many addictions to many games. But I'm just obsessed with Apex right now. So I guess some of the other games I've been addicted to throughout my time as a gamer. I was addicted to Minecraft for a while. I guess we could go through and talk about like the different symptoms that I've had that I associate with addiction. Because your girl has been whipped by some video games. I'm not gonna lie. So the first video game I guess I ever was addicted to was Minecraft. And to prove to you how badly I was addicted to this game, I mainly played this game when I was in middle school and through high school. But in middle school especially, my school didn't start until, I want to say 8, and I would get home at like 3:30, maybe? I don't know. But I would get home from school, right? I didn't really have any after school activities except for like softball. Sorry, I have the hiccups right now. Of course I do. I would get home from school and I would immediately hop on Minecraft. Would play Minecraft from 3:30 to 6, eat dinner, run back upstairs, play from like 6:20 to 10, get ready for bed, have my parents think I was in bed for about 15 minutes. They'd go downstairs, leave me alone. And then I would hop back on Minecraft around 10:30, play from 10:30 to 4:45, because my mother would always get up at 5, go upstairs, and check her emails on her computer. So I would hop back in bed at 4:45, sleep from 4:45 to about 7, be woken up by my mother screaming that I'm still sleeping, get ready to go to school and go to school, and just do that over and over again. I don't know how I know how I lived on 2 hours of sleep. I slept through most of my classes in middle school, but I don't know how I lived on 2 hours of sleep. I did that for a really long time. And then eventually I just kind of got burnt out on Minecraft. Then I started getting introduced to like Team Fortress 2 and so on and so forth. With Team Fortress 2, I guess I was really addicted to that game as well because I really like achievements, and that game has over 500 achievements. So I was more so addicted with the achievement aspect of that game. I would drive my friends completely nuts because instead of actually playing the game and racking up the achievements through real gameplay, I would force them to join me on servers where we would be like the only 2 or 3 people on that server, just an empty server because nobody played the maps. And we would sit there for hours, the entire day, and just try to get as many achievements as we could. And I feel terrible because normally I was the one looking out. I was just looking out for like my achievements. I was being really selfish. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I would be like, oh, well, I have to do this achievement and chances are you haven't done it either. So let me do it first and then you can do it. Just so that way we can make sure that like I'm doing it right and that that's how you get the achievement and then you can do it. And after about a few days of this, they got really sick of doing this because I understand. I can see from an outsider's perspective how that could be really annoying when you just want to play the game and have fun and dick around and you're being forced to achievement hunt. I was having a blast though. I'm not gonna lie. It was so satisfying to hear that little achievement thing go off and see it pop up in my bottom screen. I'm still addicted to achievements. I will still break video games and waste my time not playing the game correctly to ensure that I get the achievement. But that's what I did in Team Fortress 2. I guess I was more so addicted with the achievement aspect of that game. Other than that, I mean, the other game I can think of is Apex. And with Apex, especially when I first started playing this game, I didn't care for it. Like, I tried it in Season 2, did not like it. I was a PUBG player. I was not a good PUBG player, but I was a PUBG player. And I was just determined to stick it out and fight that PUBG wave because it was either your PUBG or your Fortnite. Like, there's no in between. You have to pick one of those and you have to play that game. So I loved PUBG because you had to be good at fighting. You didn't have to worry about building. You didn't have to worry about abilities. I hated Fortnite for the building because I didn't know how to build and everyone would just build up like crazy and just I couldn't find them. And the movement in Fortnite is so much different than PUBG. So I just couldn't get the whole shooting and moving and jumping around down. So I just hated Fortnite, despised it. I loved PUBG. I would play PUBG with my friends. I would just vibe with them for hours on end. And then when Apex came out, they were interested in trying it. So I played a few games with them, But instantly, once I realized that all of these people have different abilities and that I have to focus on not only learning how to shoot in this game, how to move in this game, I also have to worry about who's running at me and what abilities they have that could interfere with me. I said, screw this, immediately uninstalled the game. It's funny whenever I look at my stats now because, like, season 2, I have, like, 3 deaths, and that's it. Like, no damage, no kills, no nothing. But uninstalled the game. Didn't give it a second chance all the way up until, like, season, I want to say, like, 7. Because at this point, my friends had been playing the game for a little while. They'd gotten really into it, and they thought that I would enjoy it. And they kept begging me, like, please, like, try this game again. Try this game again. So I tried it again, season 7. Once again, I have like 3 deaths and no damage, no nothing. So I guess I put up for 3 games, got pissed off, and just uninstalled again. And just continued playing PUBG, you know, that was kind of my game. I would play PUBG, and what else did I play? Team Fortress 2. Those were like the 2 games that I was just really into. So when I got injured, those of you who don't know, I broke my ankle, gosh, almost a year and a half ago. That's kind of crazy. But I broke my ankle last year, and I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. So I couldn't work. I had to be moved out of my apartment because I could barely kind of care for myself. I needed help. I couldn't even stand in the shower, you know, like I needed help getting around. I needed help taking care of myself. So my parents moved me out. I moved back in with them while I was healing, and I had nothing to do. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. So I started playing video games again. And I don't remember which game I started with. I was playing something, and then one of my friends was like begging me to give Apex a 3rd try. He was like, please try it one more time. If you don't like it, you like that's the last time that I'm gonna ask. Just please, it's changed. I was like, okay, I have nothing better to do. I'll try this game. Like, if I actually ended up liking it, I now have the time to learn it. So I'll download the game. Download Apex at the start of season 9. Play it with my friend for a little bit, and I'm like, hey, you know what? This game actually isn't too bad. I enjoy the map that we're playing on. I enjoy this new character that they just added. This isn't half bad. I could mess around with this a little bit. And then after that, I got introduced to somebody that I was already kind of acquainted with, but I never really played video games with them. And they were playing like a match with us, and mind you, I had just started playing this game. I had maybe 15 hours in this game, so what they said to me like really caught me off guard. But Apex has a ranked matchmaking system, right? And the way that Apex works is you need to have 3 people on your team. So if you can either queue by yourself, which, I mean, in ranked is kind of hard, but whatever. You can queue by yourself, queue with a second person, or you can queue with all 3 people. Usually, if you have a team that is made up of 3 people, you have a better understanding of, like, how they like to fight, how they like to play, and you can normally do better in ranked. So here I am with my 15 hours, and this person that I've been acquainted with for a few years, but I've only really played video games with very recently, says to me, hey, I know that you're new to the game, but if you want, I can teach you how to be good. Only catch is that you have to play ranked with me and my friend. And you have to play ranked like every single day with us. And I was like, well, I was very hesitant at first because the way that he was making it sound was like I had to play all day, every single day for like the rest of this ranked season, which mind you was about 40 days. And that made me a little uneasy because I was like, I'm so new to this game, and I don't know how it'd be in a competitive sense, and you guys are a lot better than me, so I don't want to drag you down. I don't want to be annoying. So I said a very hesitant yes, expecting them to not follow through on their commitment, but we trained every single day, and because my ankle was broken, I had nothing better to do. It was actually okay because I had the time to spare. I started getting into streaming again, and I was just kind of doing that. I was learning how to play Apex. I was streaming. I think I was streaming a little bit of Apex and just kind of getting better at the game. So that season, we started off playing ranked, but like very, very, very little ranked because we played for a little bit and then they quickly realized that I cannot keep up with them. And in a ranked sense, if you don't really have a team that is equal in terms of skill level, it can begin to hurt you more than help you. So yes, to an extent, you can carry your weaker link as far as you can, but it's going to get to a point where when you're in a harder elo, you all need to kind of be on the same playing field in order to grow. You know, you can't just be carried through all the way to masters or to pred. You can't. You have to start, you know, picking up the pace for yourself, or else you're going to be left behind. So it got to a point where each game I was doing maybe like 20 damage, and each of them was doing 2,000 damage, getting like 6 kills each. I was sitting there like I maybe have a knock, and they were like, yeah, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do ranked. So we played a whole bunch of norms, and they kind of helped me learn the game. But after season 9, I played a little bit of season 10, but then my ankle healed and I had to go back to work. So once I was back at work and I was back in school, I wasn't really playing Apex as much and just kind of took a little hiatus from it. I did play a few games in like season 11 and season 12 just to kind of see each new character that came out, but I took a break from it. So then when season 13 rolled around, I was playing it a little bit here and there, trying to get back into it because I did have a really fun time when I was playing it in season 9, but I also had a lot more free time to dedicate to play Apex. So when season 13 rolled around, I was playing for a little bit. I was also introduced to a whole new friend group that was also getting back into Apex. Maybe they were already kind of into it. I don't really know, but just the timing of everything. Towards the end of season 13, we all started bonding over the fact that we all really enjoyed Apex and that we all just really wanted to get better at Apex. So we all kind of made a pact that in season 14, we would kind of try our hardest ranked-wise, and I really wanted to stick to that. I knew that the second season 14 started, I was going to try my damnedest to get as far as I could, because the people that I was playing with in season 9, mind you, I was still at less than 100 hours when I was playing Apex with them. But I've never been the best in gunfights. I can kind of hold my own in Team Fortress 2. I can hold my own a little bit in PUBG, but I've never been like server wiping good, win every single game good. Like I've never been that person. I've been the person that focuses more on having fun than actually being good. So the people from season 9, they said something along the lines of that I would never leave gold as a rank. Like they wanted me to play ranked with them, and they wanted me to try and get as far as they could just because they needed a third and they didn't want a random. But they didn't think that I could get out of gold if I wasn't playing with them. Let me reiterate that. If I was not playing with them, I could not get out of gold. So that kind of stuck with me, obviously, until now. And I told my friends that I was playing Apex with through season 14. Like I really wanted to try my hardest to get out of gold and to prove them wrong. We are currently in season 14. The first 40 days have passed. And since we're talking about addiction, let's talk about how many hours I put into this game, just in season 14 alone. From 2 weeks from today, I have put in, let's see what my stats say on Steam, because I know the exact amount I've put in 40 days, but I want to see what it says for the last 2 weeks. So according to Steam, the last 2 weeks, I've put in 60 hours into Apex. I feel like that is a lie, but that's fine. Because at the start of season 14, 40 days ago, I had 220 hours in Apex. 40 days ago. Today, I have 414 hours in Apex. So that means in 40 days, I have put in at least 5 hours a day into Apex. Which, like, don't get me wrong, I've improved. I've gotten better. But you girl has a problem right now, because I feel like I'm losing quality of life. I have not touched grass in so long. There have been days where I have literally played Apex from sunup to sundown, only taking breaks to eat and pee. I wish I was joking. I'm having a really good time. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm seeing improvement. I'm learning. But I have a problem. And I know that I have a problem. And it's the sort of thing where it's like I want to fix it, but at the same time, I also want to play ranked, and I want to see how far I can go. And whenever I'm at work, all I can think about is what time I could get off and go home and shower and eat so I could get back on Apex ASAP. And what time my friends get off work and how long it takes them to message me from, hey, I'm off work and hey, I'm online, to see what time we could all queue up for Apex together. And I have a scrim that's going on tonight that I hope I can attend because internet may be spotty since the weather is so bad, but we'll kind of see what happens there. And then there's tournaments that are coming up that I need to practice for, like all these things that I never would have thought I'd be interested in months ago, or I guess a year ago. Gosh, season 9 was a year ago. Like a year ago when I kind of first started getting back into it. Like I've never really had a fixation with gaming like that to try and do competitive scenes, especially tournaments. Tournaments are always, like, they've always been so cool to me, but I never associated myself with somebody that would be attending or participating in a tournament. So that's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, they're online tournaments, like, it's nothing crazy, it's not a LAN or anything, but I've still never done it. And I am not, like, I don't think I'm gonna win. I'm still gonna try my best. Like, we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I guess our question for today, since I always kind of throw a question into the episodes, is, have you ever been addicted to a video game? I have so many friends that would tell me stories all the time of, like, oh yeah, I used to be addicted to Overwatch, or I used to be addicted to League, and I say that I'm addicted to Apex, but I don't have that many hours in the game still. Like, when I'm looking at my hours compared to so many other people, I feel like I'm okay because I don't have crazy hours in games. Like, even if I look at my most played game, Team Fortress 2, I don't even have 1,000 hours in that game. I have 696, and I know that at least 150 of those were idle hours because I needed to hit like 300 in order to use Face It to try and like queue for some like low level competitive matches, but I don't have crazy hours in video games. I wonder if there's a way to look up how many hours I've put into Minecraft, because I probably have like 1 million hours in Minecraft. No joke. But other than that, I mean, I'm sure if I add this all up, it would be like crazy hours. But it feels like I've put so much time and energy into Team Fortress 2 and so much time and energy into Apex, yet I don't have the hours to show for it. Not that I really need the hours. I don't know. Like, whenever I look at my friends here, I'm not gonna say a name, I'm not gonna throw them under the bus, but I'm very curious how many hours this person has in Apex. And mind you, this person has a few accounts, so this is just one of the accounts. They only have 711 hours on this game. Just on this account, at least. Like, that's crazy to me. I don't know. Is there a crazy amount of hours? I know that my friend always stays idle on this game, so I'm not gonna look at his hours. Yeah, 500, 60, 160, 500. I guess Apex hasn't really been around for that long, so maybe Apex isn't the best indicator. But I know with League, I've had so many friends that are constantly on League because they'd play like 1 or 2 matches a night. Sorry, I had to yawn. They'd play like 1 or 2 matches a night, and each match is like at least 45 minutes. So that right there is a few hours. And they just racked up a whole bunch of time there. I don't know. What classifies addiction? Because you can have a whole bunch of hours in a video game, but does that mean that you're addicted to it? Because I don't really have any hours in this video game, and I'm addicted to it. Like, it's really bad. And the people that I've been playing with too, I've been talking to them about it, because they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm full-blown addicted to this video game. And I'm like, me too, which I guess maybe it's worse that we're all addicted to the game at the same exact time. Maybe it's good because everybody is kind of like into the game right now and we all have somebody to play with. I don't know. I've always been the type of person that kind of falls behind on game waves. So a game will be like super popular, and then as it's dying down, that's when I start getting into it, or my friends start losing interest, and then that's when I get into it. And then I'm like, well, I have nobody to play with, and I hate solo queuing, so I'm just gonna suffer, and I'm gonna do bad because I have to queue either by myself or just not play at all, even though I really want to play it. And I just hate the way that some people are in this community where they're just so toxic for no reason, because I have very thin skin. And I know that I should have thicker skin, especially knowing, you know, it's just a game and some people just are miserable and are going to try to take out their stresses on me. But at the same time, if I'm trying to play a video game and I know that I'm doing poorly, maybe I'm just having a rough night, or maybe I'm just bad and I want to play, I want to have fun, don't be toxic to me. And I'm not just saying that like as you, I'm saying like generalized. Don't be toxic to people, because you never really know the situation that they're in. Yeah, it may be frustrating, like how can you not hit your shots, or how can you not win this fight, or why did you pick me up in the middle of this open field where everybody can see us and we just got shot at by 5 different teams. Like some people just are new to the game and they want to learn, they want to improve, and they just don't need people berating them. It's frustrating too, because I want to meet more people that enjoy Apex and other games and everything like that, but I'm just so scared of people attacking me because I don't always make the right decisions, that I don't speak up in video games, or the fact that I'm a woman. I don't like really talking in voice comms if it's with people that I don't know, because I don't know the type of reaction that I'm going to get, which is very unfortunate and very sad, because I would like to interact with people, and I'm sure that there are tons of other women out there that are in my shoes, or men that are in my shoes, that just don't feel comfortable talking because they don't know what's going to happen once they open their mouth. And it's just kind of sad that that is the reality of playing video games. I don't want people to say like, oh, well, you're just soft if you're saying that, like you need to have thick skin and you need to understand that like people don't give a shit. But maybe people should give a little bit more of a shit. I don't want to be uncomfortable when I'm playing video games, when I'm having fun, when I'm supposed to be having fun. And there have been instances where, like the other week, I was playing Apex added this new game mode called Gun Run. And I was messing around on it since I was off of work. I didn't really have anything to do. None of my friends were online because they were all working. And I wanted to test it out before they all got home. I played one match. I played a character that I don't normally play just because I was like, oh, let me figure out what this mode is. I was playing Bloodhound. Those of you who don't know Bloodhound, he has like this little scan so you can see all the people around you for a few seconds. And in this game mode specifically, you don't always spawn near your team. Or if one of them dies and you're not near them, they may spawn across the map, so then you're really separated. But I was playing Bloodhound, and I was scanning. I was getting some pretty decent scans, you know, like around me, because that's where the scans are. And I was doing pretty good. I was getting pretty good damage, getting pretty good kills. And we lost the game by only a few points, but we lost. It was the first time I ever played this game mode. And my teammate said to me, unless you know how to scan as Bloodhound, never play them again. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, first of all, I don't know you. Second of all, this is my first ever time trying this game mode. Third of all, I don't play this character too often. And that's okay. Maybe I was practicing. Maybe I'm working on getting my scans better. Like, you don't know who I am, and the fact that you just came out like that. Not saying, like, good job, or, hey, nice try. No, just, like, you should never play that character again. And I was like, but I didn't even do bad. Like, I don't see what the issue is. I don't understand why you're coming at me with such strong toxicity when I was just playing a game at, like, 1 p.m. on a Tuesday. Like, where are you at in life where you feel like that is an appropriate response? I don't know. It just kind of irked me. It's something that I know that I just need to let go. But at the same time, like, why are people like that? Why do people give such a shit about pixels on a screen? Like, it wasn't ranked. They didn't lose anything because we lost. Like, they didn't gain anything if we would have won. Like, I don't see why they needed to come at me like that to make themselves feel better. It wasn't even like I stole the character from them because I chose last. So I'm like, what's the issue? Don't be toxic to people that you don't know. Just don't do it. Because if you're toxic to me, I'll just start crying. Like, some people are just toxic to me, and I just know that that's how they are because I know that they're just messing with me. But if you're somebody that I don't know and you're just outwardly toxic to me, that hurts my feelings, man. Like, there's no need to be mean in this world. There's so much to celebrate. So much to be happy about. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't even know if I fully covered what I wanted to in terms of video game addictions. I feel like I hit what I wanted to. I know that I definitely went off on some tangents. But what else is new? Do I even need to have a set topic? You know, I think of like, what are they called? Not mood boards. Brain stems? No. Brain graphs? Brain chart? Thought chart. I don't know. I learned about them in school, where it's like you have a general idea, right, in the center. And then everything kind of branches off into little circles, and then you go off like that. I feel like that's exactly what our podcast is. So I have a topic, and then we may stick to it or we may not. There may be a bubble that is attached to the topic that I just kind of go on forever. And then somehow it kind of relates back to the topic. I don't know. I personally enjoy listening back to the podcast episodes because your girl blacks out when she records. I don't know what is wrong with me. I just kind of go on autopilot. My body goes on autopilot and my brain just goes. So I don't think before I speak. And I really like that I do that because I feel like it's very raw and unfiltered and I can talk about exactly what I want to talk about without worrying about if I'm being entertaining or not, because I don't feel like I have to be entertaining. I just want to be real and I want to talk about what has been on my mind, which is personally what I enjoy about podcasts, especially solo podcasts. As much as I enjoy having guests, and eventually I will bring guests on this podcast, it's nice to listen to one person that doesn't get steamrolled by another person's opinions, and they can just feel comfortable talking about something that's either bothering them or something that they're really passionate about. But then again, I've also only listened to a few podcasts. But I definitely want to hear about your stories in terms of video games that maybe you've been super invested in, or even honestly your standpoint on podcasts, because there are a few podcasts that I listen to that I really enjoy, and I would like to hear feedback on podcasts. But I think I mentioned this on the last episode. I'm going to try and link it a little bit better in this one, but I made a Reddit page for this podcast, and the purpose is I love interaction. Like, those of you that respond to me in Instagram DMs or Twitter DMs, if I don't always get back to you, I do see what you're saying. And I love hearing from you. I love hearing your answers to the questions that I ask and stuff like that, because there are times where, you know, I'll be telling a story and you're like, oh my goodness, I relate to you. And like when you go back and send me those messages after the fact, like, I think that that's so cool. So I made a Reddit page. I'm not super well versed in Reddit, but I feel like that is a great place to kind of hold these conversations and these forums, I guess, of all the tangents that I go on and just stories and stuff like that. So that is going to be linked in the description of this podcast episode, along with all my socials if you want to see other content from me. I'm live on Twitch every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I didn't mean to just kind of go into the plug right there at the end, but it's fine, I guess. You should be following me on other stuff if you enjoy this podcast, because I am a lot more chaotic on everything else and a lot less filtered. So go check me out. But yeah, I'm gonna try and make that Reddit page a little bit more alive. And yeah, hopefully I see y'all in there. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here, friends. My throat is killing me. I really hope that I'm not getting sick again. I'm not gonna lie to you, my tonsils are kind of bothering me. I hope it's nothing, to be frank. But if it is anything, like tonsillitis, get some ice cream and some no tonsils. I don't know, we'll see. My throat hurts. So I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna go. But like I said, if you want to check out any other socials from me, they're all going to be linked in the description. Also, make sure, if you did enjoy this podcast, to follow it on whatever platform you're listening on, so you can catch the next time that I post an episode. And I mean, there are a few places where you can even like it or leave a review, so you should do that. You should like the podcast to show me that you like it, because that would be cool. I would like to know that you like the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, subscribe. What are you doing? You've made it this far. Why haven't you subscribed or liked the video? You know, leave a little comment. Say hey. Say hi. Tell me about your day. I don't know. I'm going to stop talking. All right, guys. Have a good night or day or whatever time it is. I don't know. podcast out.